Hi, and welcome to yet another edition of Ask Miss Judes. Today, I'm excited to be bringing to you a totally different kind of video from what I do usually, because this one is a collab. It's in collaboration with that random black girl. Marvel is my acquired niece here in Canada, and she does a lot of videos about lifestyle, exercise, skincare. You need to check her out. The link is down below. The first part is on her channel and this part is on mine. So be sure to check out her channel, watch the other part, and if there are any more things you'd like us to do together, be sure to drop us a comment at the bottom. And let us know if there are any more like this that you would like to know. But this is really reminiscent of how we do things in Africa. You learn a skill while you're talking with your parents. Enjoy.
This is Miss Jude. She's gonna be teaching me how to make bread.
It's basically flour, sugar, melted butter, yeast, and 1 cup of milk.
Today we're talking about relationship.
You have to be sure that they don't disrespect you. We are friends, but respect is primary. What do you want in a relationship?
Should money or financial status be considered?
You can't do anything in life without money. So your mindset about money is probably more important than whether you have it or not. This is all you really need for the brain.
How do you know that someone is the one? Because when you say likes, the similar likes, do you mean like pastimes, or do you mean like I don't know, future wise?
It should probably be both. However, if he gets to the point where he's choosing soccer over a relationship, we will have a conversation. 2 happy people produce an amazing relationship.
But some people have trouble compromising at all, so they should compromise more.
Yes.
Some people compromise themselves too much and they don't have boundaries.
No.
So how do you navigate that? Do you have any tips or any indicator for anybody that's struggling with that?
I would aim for balance. So in my day, it's different for you. In my day, people got married very young. At 20, 21, 22, they were married. I didn't get married until I was 29. So I knew exactly what I wanted. Maybe a bit too much. So for me, compromise was a huge deal. Because I was already fully me before going into this. But guess the decision that I made. Everybody's happiness is far more important than just my happiness. Right? So you want to have those conversations around what are you willing to give up? You want to be sure that what you're giving up is not foundational to who you are. So I would never give up anything that has to do with my faith. So I would not date anybody from another faith, because that's something I cannot, because that's who I am. Right? So find what is negotiable, but be sure you don't lose the core of who you are. So for example, if you're the kind of person who likes hanging around, you like having your family around, and he says, oh, I don't like having family, you're not going to be able to survive in that relationship, because your family means a lot to you, right? So there's some issues you shouldn't negotiate. You also want to be sure that he's not pretending to just be able to negotiate until, right? So you have to be very upfront. Sometimes almost to a painful point, right? I always say this, do not ever compromise who you are. At night, I want to sleep with myself. I want to go to bed knowing that today I was me. So if I'm the kind of person who goes into a relationship that's compromising, I won't be able to sleep. I'll just be a mental health case. Because it means that every day you're going to go, so be careful. Find what is foundational to you. Don't compromise on those. On other issues, meet each other halfway. Today, you might have to go 70% of the way. But you must be sure that he too, next week, will go 70% towards you as well. If it's one side always giving, I guarantee you the relationship will not last, because that person is going to get tired. And if you're the receiving one, I always say this to youngest, you say, oh, he's so nice, he just does everything I want. That's not a good thing. Because a woman wants somebody who would challenge your intellect, right? If you say, I want to do this, you say, why do you want to do that? Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? They say, you want to do that? Okay. I want to do that? Okay. Like,
yeah, no.
Are you living by yourself? Is there somebody else in this house? So be sure that your conversations are genuine, they're honest, they're real, but be always respectful. You can have difference of opinion and negotiate respectfully, and I guarantee you're gonna have a wonderful life.
That's good. Thank you. So yes, before you get to dating, make a list of your fundamental things and do not compromise on them. Things that you cannot lose.
Yeah.
Make sure you enumerate those. Don't go in a relationship saying, no. Make that list, and then the rest you can negotiate. So in the era of the strong independent woman, a lot of us will have trouble now knowing that we have to submit to our husband and all these things. So what tips do you have for that strong independent woman that now has to learn how to, sometimes a little bit depend on the husband, because the husband wants to feel, needed.
Yeah.
So what tips do you have for that woman? Like, how do you balance being your own individual, but still making your man feel valued, appreciated in the ways that he needs to be?
So I have cultivated a habit of validating my husband verbally. Right? I bless him every morning he goes to work. I bless him every afternoon he comes back from work. But initially it's funny because when we got married, I had friends who came, old friends. I used to have a lot of old friends, elderly friends who came from Europe and the US, and they'd never been to Nigeria before. Right? So we had one huge thing hosting them for the period they were there. After the wedding, I then said to my husband, when we were going back to Lagos, because we went to get married in our home, and he says he didn't know. I thought, my world has come to an end. Have I gotten to a point where I don't know what I want to do now? And he just said it so casually, like, I don't know. Like, I have foreigners waiting for me in Lagos. I'll have to see them before they go home. What do you mean you don't know? So I just went into the room and I wept. I thought, I am done. How did I get in here? I cried. I really did.
Yeah.
I thought, oh God, now I can't even make decisions for myself. And not long after, he came and said, oh, by the way, we can go back tomorrow. And I thought, why did he do that? But I'm not even sure he remembers now. I never challenged him on it. But for me, I think that was him trying to say, let me make the decisions sometimes. Right? And I realized that because I love him and I know that he loves me, he's not going to want to do anything that will upset me. So maybe how I'd ask was like my usual self, like just pick up your bag and go. But now there's somebody else. So I think what women don't realize, and I'm a very strong willed
we know, strong independent woman. Yeah.
What I learned in submitting to my husband was that it wasn't difficult. Maybe for a start, because I was allowing my head, I was giving my head too much access to how I felt. I was kind of processing everything. But then I realized that if I presented issues as clearly as I could understand them, there was no issue. So if I needed to make a decision on something, I would say, I was thinking about doing so and so and so. What do you think? So at one point he said, I know, you made up your mind, just making the I'm like, okay, you got it. But I think if a guy loves you, they would respect you. So, and when a guy loves you, it's easy to submit to them.
So I guess you would say like the start of it would be in picking a person that wants the best for you.
Yes.
Because then you know that whatever decision they make is for your better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the key. I get that. Yeah. Makes sense.
And occasionally they might make decisions that are not in your best interest, and that's okay because it's a human being. And there are times I will do things that really irritate him too, and he will have to put up with me. So I need to be willing to put up with him.
Also,
sometimes. It's give and take. But for the woman, I think it's very important that if you learn, especially if it's a Christian man, if you learn to submit to a godly man, it's amazing. It's amazing. The blessings they bless you, the things they do for you, the things they encourage you to be who you really ought to be. That submission is not a problem.
So a lot of people feel that when they hear the word submit, they feel like you become a slave. So can you elaborate on like the actual concept of submitting, not like not the definition which is fed down our brain, because when people hear submit they're like, hey,
it's like I can't do anything unless he gives me permission. Okay, so for me, submission is really respect. That's how I see it. Submission for me is respect. So I got a new revelation of Ephesians 5 where it's talking, it said, submit one to another. That's what the Bible said, you know. That the man and the woman must submit one to another. However, in that relationship, God has established that the man is the head. So, if you look at submission as giving up who you are, it will be difficult. If you look at submission, I always say, and my husband doesn't like this analogy, but I'm giving it anyway. I said the man is the head, the woman is the neck. The head cannot function independent of the neck, right? The neck by itself will do nothing because your brain is in your head, right? But however, if the neck, have you ever woken up sometimes with a stiff neck? You see how? That is how your marriage will be if you don't want to submit. Right?
Wow.
Very
Wow.
uncomfortable.
Yo, that was deep.
Very uncomfortable. But because I know that it's my role to support my husband to be the best that God has called him to be, I become the praying wife who would make suggestions, who would bring issues to mind that need to be decided upon. Most of the times he will say to me, I think your idea sounds better. Go ahead with what you were going to do anyway. So if you really submit, you become a more powerful woman because he endorses your strength, and the more he endorses my strength, the more I want to submit. So if you submit to a godly man, it's not giving up your rights at all. It's actually empowering you more to be who God wants you to be.
Yeah, I think maybe from what I understand, it's like the man just wants to feel trusted.
Yeah.
Like he wants to feel like you're willing to respected. Yeah, respected. Yeah. So once you give him that respect, he's not gonna flounder it if he's a good man.
If he's a good man, he's going to value you like a rare gem because he knows that he's secure in your love and you don't have to compete. I think that will be the last. The next it will go into the oven and then we'll bring it out and you will see how it is. And hopefully you try it and let Marvel know.
If you tried it, comment, tell us if you like it. Subscribe for more good videos, okay? That's how we know that you like what you see. See you soon.
So, usually I would check with a toothpick.
Ooh, child. Ooh. Look at this bread. Oh my goodness.
Where are they both running away from? So you just want to try with a toothpick so it comes out clean and dry, you know it's ready. Because it's piping hot.
Ooh, that steam.
Should let it cool down a bit before you slice it, but this is what? It is almost cake-like. And that's your sandwich bread. No need bread.